Bismillah-ir-Rahman-ir-Raheem. As-salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, every morning that we wake up is a new chance, a new page that Allah Tan gives us to rewrite our story, to realign our hearts, and to begin again. But how often do we waste this precious gift? The morning hours, especially those after Fajr, carry a secret, a hidden barakah, a divine blessing that can transform our lives if we truly understood its value. The Prophet made dua for barakah in the early hours for his ummah. These are not ordinary hours. These are sacred moments when the angels descend, when the world is silent, and when the heart can finally hear. This time is a doorway between night and day, between rest and effort, between reflection and action. But sadly, so many of us sleep through it. We chase productivity later in the day, forgetting that the secret to true success begins before the world even wakes up. Today, let's reflect on the topic, don't waste morning hours, the secret of Fajr Barakah. The time of Fajr is not just another prayer. It is a divine invitation to success, peace, and barakah. When the world is still sleeping, when the streets are silent, when distractions are gone, Allah Tan calls out to you. He invites you to rise, to meet Him in stillness, to seek His help before you seek anyone else's. This is the time when the heart is most open, when the soul is most sincere, and when du'as travel the fastest. Allah could have made Fajr easy, placed it in the middle of the day, but He didn't. Why? Because He wants to test who truly values His presence more than their comfort. The believer who leaves his warm bed for the sake of Allah is not losing sleep, he is gaining barakah in everything that follows. That sacrifice, that small struggle is seen and rewarded in ways we cannot imagine. There's a hadith where the Prophet said, "Oh Allah, bless my nation in their early mornings." This means your studies, your work, your ideas, your projects all find divine assistance when you start your day after Fajr. The spiritual energy of that time seeps into your entire day. You'll find that tasks that once took hours suddenly take minutes. Your mood remains calm and your heart feels light. That's not coincidence, that's barakah. But when you sleep through Fajr, you may feel the opposite. Tired, heavy, unmotivated, even though you slept longer. That's because barakah is not about how much time you have, it's about how blessed that time is. Fajr brings clarity to the mind and tranquility to the heart. It's as if Allah fills your day with hidden blessings, unseen help, and spiritual focus. And if you think about it, all successful people, even those who don't believe, often speak about waking up early as their secret to success. They've discovered a worldly reflection of what we as Muslims already know spiritually, because the one who begins his day with Allah cannot lose. The light of Fajr spreads not just through the sky, but into your soul. It's Allah's way of saying, start your day with me, and I'll take care of the rest. So, my dear brothers and sisters, the Fajr time is a divine opportunity, a spiritual window that opens briefly each day. Once it closes, it never returns. Don't let it slip away. Wake up, rise for your Lord, and experience the serenity that only those who pray Fajr know. Because the one who protects this time, Allah protects him throughout the day. The time of Fajr is not only about waking up early, it's about awakening your heart. When you stand before Allah at that hour, when the world is quiet and still, something deep within you begins to realign. Fajr is the moment that strengthens the bond between you and your Creator. It is the most personal and intimate meeting you can ever experience. When you speak to Allah before speaking to anyone else, when you cry to Him before the world has a chance to hurt you, and when you seek His guidance before you take a single step into your day. During Fajr, the heart is untouched by the noise of the world. It's pure, soft, and open. That's why the prayer of Fajr has such spiritual weight. It's not just a ritual, it's a renewal. Every time you bow in those early hours, you are reminding your soul that Allah comes first. You are recentering your life around Him, not your desires, not your routine, not your phone, but Him. And this sincerity brings a strength that nothing else can provide. When you start your day with Fajr, you are declaring to Allah, why Allah? I trust you with my day. And when you do that, Allah places peace in your heart and direction in your steps. The believer who guards Fajr never walks alone. Angels walk beside them. The tranquility that descends after those 2 raka'at is not something you can describe. It's something you can only feel. It's that inner calm, that quiet certainty that no matter what happens today, Allah is with you. It's also in these moments that your du'as carry a special power. You're speaking to Allah when the world sleeps, when distractions are few and sincerity flows effortlessly. Every tear, every whisper of dua, every why Allah said in that hour reaches the heavens directly. It's the time when hearts are closest to their Lord. This connection built at Fajr doesn't end when the prayer ends. It follows you. It colors your day with peace. It shields you from sin, fills your speech with gentleness, and your mind with clarity. That's the hidden secret. When your first action is for Allah, everything that follows gains barakah. Even when you face difficulties later in the day, your heart feels steady because it began anchored in remembrance. But when we neglect this time, we unknowingly cut off our spiritual oxygen. We start the day disconnected, rushed, restless. We try to find peace in the wrong places, in coffee, in conversation, in social media, but it never lasts. True strength, true peace comes from that early connection with Allah. So, the time of Fajr isn't just about waking up your body, it's about waking up your soul. It's the foundation of a strong relationship with Allah, one that brings barakah in your time, sweetness in your worship, and light in your heart. And once you taste the peace of that connection, you'll never want to start your day without it again. The early morning is not just a time for prayer, it's a time for nourishment of the soul. After Fajr, when the sky begins to lighten and the world is still calm, there is a spiritual freshness that no other time of day can offer. This is the perfect moment to fill your heart with Dhikr, remembrance of Allah, and Qur'an. These 2 acts, remembering Allah and reciting His words, bring a light that no worldly source can provide. When you sit after Fajr with the Qur'an in your hands, the peace you feel is not ordinary. It's as if Allah is personally speaking to you, guiding you, comforting you, reminding you of who you truly are. The verses that you may have read many times before suddenly touch you differently. That's because your heart at Fajr is soft and receptive. It's not distracted, it's not tired, it's awake and ready to receive the light of guidance. Allah says in the Qur'an, and the Qur'an of dawn, indeed, the recitation of dawn is ever witnessed. So Surah Al-Isra 17:28. This means that the Qur'an recited at Fajr is not only heard by you, it is witnessed by the angels. Imagine that. Your voice, your breath, your recitation being written and carried up to Allah. That is how special this time is. The angels themselves testify to the beauty of your remembrance. Dhikr after Fajr also holds immense power. Saying, SubhanAllah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and La ilaha illallah in these early hours fills the heart with light and the day with barakah. The Prophet told us that whoever sits remembering Allah after Fajr until sunrise and then prays 2 raka'at will have the reward of a complete Hajj and Umrah. This is a promise of unimaginable blessing, yet so many of us sleep through it. Morning Dhikr and Qur'an create an invisible shield around your heart. They strengthen your faith before you face the world. Every word of remembrance polishes the heart that was clouded by yesterday's worries. You begin your day with clarity, not because life is suddenly easy, but because your heart is connected to the one who controls it all. And something beautiful happens when you make this a habit. Your entire day changes. Your thoughts become more peaceful, your reactions more patient, your purpose more clear. You'll find that your energy lasts longer, your mind stays sharper, and your soul feels lighter. That's the barakah of remembrance. It doesn't just bless your prayer, it blesses your entire life. The light that enters your heart through morning Dhikr and Qur'an is not just spiritual, it reflects in your character, your speech, and even your face. People may not know why, but they'll sense serenity in you, because the one who fills his heart with the Qur'an at dawn carries the nur of Allah throughout the day. So, don't let the morning pass in silence. Let your tongue remember Him, let your heart feel Him, and let your home echo with His words. Because those who begin their day with the remembrance of Allah will never walk through their day in darkness. The discipline of Fajr is not just a spiritual act, it's a training ground for your entire life. Builds within you a strength that touches every part of your day, your mindset, your habits, your time management, and your relationship with Allah. Waking up for Fajr teaches you one of the most powerful lessons of success, that consistency and sacrifice lead to barakah and inner peace. When you rise before the sun, you are doing something your nafs, ego, resists. Your body wants to stay warm in bed. Your mind whispers, 5 more minutes. Yet your heart knows, Allah is calling me. Each morning that you overcome that internal battle, you become stronger. You are proving to your soul that Allah's command is greater than your comfort. And this simple act of discipline at Fajr carries over into everything else you do. The believer who can wake up when it's hardest will find it easier to stay away from sin, to be patient in hardship, and to remain focused on goals that matter. Because Fajr builds resilience. It trains your heart to prioritize the eternal over the temporary. It teaches your mind to lead your body, not follow your desires. Even on a practical level, starting your day with Fajr gives you a head start. The peace of those early hours helps you plan, reflect, and set intentions before the world begins to pull you in 100 directions. There's clarity in those moments that you don't find later in the day. You think better, you feel lighter, and you act with more purpose. That's why so many scholars and righteous people throughout history guarded their Fajr with passion. They knew it was the secret behind their productivity and spiritual success. When you pray Fajr consistently, your whole life becomes more organized. You begin to sleep with purpose, wake with purpose, and live with purpose. You stop wasting time on meaningless distractions because you've tasted the sweetness of a disciplined life, a life aligned with Allah's rhythm. The day feels longer and more fulfilling because you began it with intention, not delay. The discipline of Fajr also protects your heart from laziness and heedlessness. When you lose control of your mornings, your days slip through your fingers. But when you control your mornings, you control your life. And that control doesn't come from the ego, it comes from submission. Because the person who can submit to Allah in the hardest moment, leaving their sleep for His sake, has already conquered the strongest form of discipline, self-control. So Fajr is not only about worship, it's about transformation. It's about turning intention into action, faith into habit, and love for Allah into daily effort. The discipline it builds makes you more grounded, more focused, and more grateful. Each Fajr becomes a quiet victory, a reminder that you are capable of choosing Allah over everything else. And when that becomes your routine, your life becomes filled with barakah, strength, and unshakable peace. Those who guard Fajr are guarded by Allah throughout the day. This is one of the most beautiful and comforting truths for a believer. When you begin your day by obeying Allah, He promises to protect you, guide you, and place blessings in everything that follows. Fajr is not just a prayer, it's a shield. It's a spiritual armor that surrounds your heart, your mind, and even your daily affairs with divine protection. The Prophet said, "Whoever prays the morning prayer is under the protection of Allah." Imagine that. Before you step out of your home, Before you face the challenges of the world, you are already wrapped in the care of your Lord. You're not just walking into the day with your own strength. You're walking under the guardianship of the one who never sleeps. This is the unseen power of Fajr. When you consistently guard Fajr, Allah guards you from harm, from bad decisions, from spiritual darkness, and from the traps of Shaitan. Fajr prayer draws a clear line between the people of remembrance and the people of heedlessness. Those who rise for Allah while others sleep are marked by angels, honored by Allah, and guided by light. That's why the Prophet said that the 2 Fajr Rakahs are better than the world and everything in it. Because their reward isn't just in the next life, their protection begins immediately. When you begin your day with Fajr, your steps are guided. Things you worry about start to unfold in ways you didn't plan. The meetings go smoother, the problems find easier solutions. Your heart feels calm even when things are uncertain. That's not luck, that's barakah, the unseen blessing that follows those who obey Allah in the early hours. You'll notice something profound when you commit to protecting Fajr. Allah begins to protect you even in your weakest moments. He puts Nur light in your heart that helps you see right from wrong. He gives you an inner peace that worldly chaos cannot shake. He protects your time from being wasted, your mind from being overwhelmed, and your soul from feeling lost. And when difficulties do come, because life will always test us, you face them differently. You're not easily broken because your foundation is strong. You've started your day in sujood, and the one who bows to Allah cannot be brought down by the world. Your Fajr becomes your daily renewal of faith, your reminder that Allah is in control and that no harm can reach you except by His will. So, guarding Fajr is not just about prayer timing, it's about trust. It's about showing Allah that you value His command enough to sacrifice your comfort. And in return, Allah values you enough to surround you with His mercy, protect you from unseen harm, and fill your path with light. My dear brothers and sisters, remember, the one who guards Fajr will find Allah guarding their heart, their day, and their destiny. When you begin your morning with Allah, you'll never walk alone because His protection never leaves those who rise for Him. My brothers and sisters, we live in a world that glorifies the night, late scrolling, late working, late sleeping, but Islam teaches us to glorify the dawn. The world belongs to those who rise with purpose. Allah has already placed blessings in the morning. We just need to show up to receive them. If you want peace, pray Fajr. If you want productivity, start your day with Dhikr. If you want barakah in your wealth, time, and family, rise when Allah calls. Every morning is a conversation waiting to happen between you and your Creator. Don't let it pass in silence. When you answer the call of Fajr, Allah answers your call for help. So tomorrow, when your alarm rings, don't think of it as losing sleep. Think of it as gaining light, because those who rise for Allah in darkness walk in His light during the day. May Allah bless your mornings, your hearts, and your homes with the barakah of Fajr. May He make us among those who love to wake up for Him and who taste the sweetness of being close to Him at dawn. Jazakallahu khairan for spending this time reflecting on these reminders. May this message awaken your heart before the alarm even rings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.